guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Cooking Every British Pub Classic. So this looks like a very fun video. Let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
What's the best British pub classic? We got a real pub landlord, my Uncle Paul, to taste the lot. Scotch eggs, sausage rolls, ham, egg and chips. He's seen it all, he's served it all, and now he's crowning the ultimate British pub food.
I have to say, for me, like, pub food, like, it's more like a snack, but I'm seeing actual meals, so that's weird.
First dish, Scotch egg. So for the uninitiated, a Scotch egg is it's a very simple thing. It's a soft-boiled egg wrapped in sausage meat and then deep fried until perfectly cooked. It's a British staple that's found in lots of things. Traditionally, you'd have it in some like picnics and stuff like that. It lends itself very well to being a pub snack. You will find these on pretty much most pub menus around the UK. Start by louring your egg, and this will help the first layer of sausage meat stick. And then there's no real like right or wrong way to do it. You've just kind of got to form the meat around the egg.
You know, I've seen black pudding Scotch eggs, chorizo Scotch eggs, fucking smoked haddock Scotch eggs, although that's pretty shit.
There'll be a different...
The black pudding, like, Scotch egg, that's for not for the faint of heart.
Scotch egg in a lot of different pubs. What makes a good pub?
Where do we start? It's got to be a good selection of different beers.
Yeah.
And lagers.
Beer.
Of course.
Your favourite is shit lager, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, I like refreshing.
Yeah.
Crisp, refreshing lager. More European style.
Stella. Realistically, when you're younger, best pub is just the pub that lets you in, I guess. So, Scotch egg goes
Deep fried, okay. Oh my god, it's perfect.
Scotch egg in all its glory.
Scotch egg, what do you serve with? That is a debatable question.
What is
Mustard,
that, Salt?
Piccalilli, chutney.
Wrong! Good
Piccalilli, that sounds delicious.
old-fashioned English mustard. It's not like
mustard.
American mustard.
Sounds great.
American mustard's a bit too acidic and very sweet. I actually love it, but different to this. It's not
Mustard, British mustard is different. Now, I need to taste that. Obviously, it's not like Dijon, but I've never actually, I don't think I've ever had like British mustard, and I didn't know that we're different.
like a French mustard. French mustard's a bit meh. You know, it's more of an ingredient. This is a standalone.
Oh my.
Mustard there just to keep it in place.
Okay.
Then
Gonna need more.
nice swipe of English mustard on the side of the plate as well. Pub classic Scotch egg. Let's send this up to our resident landlord, the big dog.
How do you eat this? Like burger? Or like with a knife?
Now then, how's we going?
So we've enlisted the help of the finest pub landlord in the country.
I have a small little foodie operation called the Thorold Arms in Harmston.
So we're going to got 10 dishes for you. The winner stays on, basically. Winner stays on.
Right. Who doesn't know the Scotch egg? It's a food to go. Very portable. Yeah, good texture, nice mouthfeel, seasoned right.
We've set the bar pretty high on the first one.
It's a good start.
He's okay.
You can have that one.
Okay,
He seems like,
next pub dish could split the room. This one we have pork scratching. So we've got the pork skin that we boiled earlier on in the ham stock. It's been fully dehydrated, and now we're just going to break it up into smaller chunks. It doesn't need to be a perfect size. It can be sort of a bit random, and you just need to preheat your oil.
I know people love this,
200 degrees C. So this dish sort of came about from the area we call the Midlands in the UK, which is sort of like the heart of England. Very big for the Industrial Revolution, and in the 1800s, all the sort of the workers used to keep pigs, and they wanted a way to use the whole pig. So using the rinds and turning it into a sort of comforting, salty, fatty snack became very popular, and it's sort of stayed around since then. So
how were the deep frying stuff like back in those days? I would imagine oil was not a common use. Like they wouldn't I think, right? Like, wasn't it expensive? I would assume it was expensive back in those days.
We're going to drop our skin into the hot oil. Just be super careful if you're doing this one at home. So they should puff up and curl up, and you just need to keep moving them around in the oil. So once they're fried up, just move them from the oil.
This isn't such a pub dish. It's more of a pub snack. But we felt like we had to put it on there because it is such an iconic thing.
Paul is a traditional pub landlord, as traditional as they come. And is he going to like this version of a pork scratch?
Yeah, because it's not. This is actually potentially not that traditional.
No, I don't think. I've got a feeling he's not going to rate it.
Thanks for coming in.
Is it just on its own?
How am I doing all the heavy work over here? Classic. Pork scratching.
Ah, now they look very plump and very non-commercial, shall I say. Well, they don't look traditional. Normally those bags you get, those dodgy bags you get.
I like the dodgy bags.
The dodgy bags are great because they're nice and salty and gets your punters drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a go. They are super.
Yeah?
No, I'm very impressed with that.
What are we thinking? Are we going to stick with the Scotch egg or are we going to twist to the pork scotch?
I think
The Scotch egg.
that pushes the Scotch egg to one side.
Next up,
No.
Ploughman's. This is not my favourite at all. I'm actually
Really?
not a big fan of it in the
What is
slightest.
this?
We're going to start with ham, which has just
Okay.
been honey roasted. But to be honest,
Look
it can
good.
be quite versatile. This could be beef, but normally some cold cut of meat with
Okay.
cheese and bread is basically what a ploughman's is. But
my God, I love this.
the history of a ploughman's is pretty interesting. It's not, whereas we would think that it's probably one of the oldest ones that we'll be doing today. It's actually just a marketing campaign after the war. So they were trying to get people to eat more cheese, the British cheese board. So they
Why?
actually came up with this dish as a marketing means. So the plough was obviously invented much, much earlier, but we only actually started eating the ploughmans after the Second World War. There's nothing wrong with the ploughmans, but it's just not my specific cup of tea. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's delicious. It's,
Yeah.
it's just a classic version of modern day, what do you want to call it? Picky bits or
Picky bits.
effectively.
British antipasti, potentially.
I think that's the thing
Exactly.
is it gives people the choice, you know.
Yeah.
Some people might like just eat on the cheese and then have ham sandwich, or people would mix it all together
Yeah.
and have a bit of everything.
You do what you
It
want.
adds a bit of versatility, good for sharing. Not that exciting, but sometimes it's what you want.
Little
It's like a smorgasbord. Like you choose whatever you want to.
crumble of blue cheese, something like a Stilton, so like a nice hard blue, an apple chutney
The thing I'm like a little. I don't know what there are tomatoes over there, but
which
okay.
we've made. So just boiled down apples with vinegar, sugar, and this is just going to add a really nice acidity. It's got some mustard seeds
No
in
one-
there as well. Traditionally as
I want to do the apple thing. Like that looks delicious.
well, you'd have a couple of pickled onions on there, some
Love them.
Branston pickle.
Sometimes there might be a bit of pork
Love
pie
it.
on there. Most more sort of modern pubs would have sausage roll, a bit of
Yeah, a little
homemade ham,
Okay.
selection of like the best cheeses they can find. Whereas you might go
course.
somewhere a bit more rural, and it might just be the basics. It might just be cheddar, bought-in ham, Branston pickle, bread, and that's
Okay.
sort of the beauty of it.
I think Uncle
Can you find like brie over there? Not really, right? Probably not.
Paul will love this. This is a bit of contentious for me and Jack. I'm not a massive fan, but this is the traditional Ploughman's. Montgomery cheddar, blue cheese, honey glazed ham, pickled onions, some tomatoes, a little homemade apple chutney, and some Branston pickle.
It's a lunchtime.
Where's the bread? I'm looking at it. It looks delicious, but I need a slice of bread, right? I'm not supposed to eat this alone. I mean, not that I could. I mean, of course, but I think it would look like it would taste good on the sandwich.
Thing. It's probably more of a summertime thing. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with Montgomery cheddar. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are tomato.
I don't know why. Like,
Got them in season.
what's British obsession with tomatoes? I love tomatoes, but like in this particular instance, I wouldn't be having tomatoes just alone. Like, I think the onions are enough and the pickles. I don't know. I think they're constantly putting tomatoes on their breakfasts as well, which I think is a little strange.
Even better.
Branston pickle, what you thinking?
I love Branston pickle. That looks groovy. Let's have a look. Picking a bit of spice in.
A few mustard seeds in there, a bit
Yeah.
of coriander.
Coriander's nice. A bit of heat. I'm going to keep with scratching.
Oh,
Keep the scratchings as a pub classic.
Yeah, I know.
Ruthless.
I know.
Unlucky Ploughman's.
I know. I'm sure there's plenty of pub classics, but tell you what, that's top of the pops for me, that one.
our next pub classic is going to be ham, egg, and chips. So here's our ham joint, which we've sort of steamed
This is again very weird to me. Like that looks like breakfast.
and boiled, and we've just covered it in our lovely apple and mustard glaze.
Ooh.
And that's now cold, and we're just going to, before we slice it and heat it through. Yeah, so these are just pub chips, so they're going to be very, instead of being like triple cooked chips like you get in, sort of more
Perfect.
modern day sort of gastropubs. These pub chips are just blanched twice. They're going to go into oil about 160, 170 degrees. The dishes
They're
that
very
we're
big.
creating here are classic British pub classics you can find in your local pub, whereas a gastropub is sort of like a newer trend, which is they're more food-led rather than traditionally drink-led.
This
course.
dish, ham, egg, and chips, is pretty much on every pub menu
Okay.
across the country. It's all my brother used to eat when we were growing up. It's literally the only thing he would ever eat.
I mean, it does
What do you mean when you're growing up? Like, shouldn't you be like over 18 to like get into a pub?
work. It's delicious. It's even a nice dish to have at home, to be honest with you. And there's not much more classic combos than potato and egg. I mean, they do it in every cuisine around the world. They're delicious.
There are two of the most delicious foods: eggs and fries. Well, potatoes, delicious.
Yes, and I think it was a very classic. It was something that was readily available in the wartime. And then obviously once we came out of the wartime and meat was more
Stuck.
readily available, the addition of sort of ham and gammon and steaks and stuff like that was added to the combination. British pub food is, you're not necessarily having it just for the best flavour combination.
No.
You're having it for
Comfort.
sustenance.
Yeah.
You're having it because you've had a few pints, you need some filling up. One
Okay.
controversial ingredient, some pubs do it, some don't. We have some beautiful tinned pineapple.
Ooh,
So ham's
like
just
with the
going to go
ham?
in, we're just going to sear it nicely on both sides. Doesn't need to be like fully sort of cooked all the way through. Char off our pineapple at the same time. It just seems
Again, to me that's weird because I associate ham and the pineapple slices with like old-timey Christmases. So it's not for like everyday type of food, right?
retro, but
Question is, what condiment are we serving with this one?
I think there's only really one thing you can have with chips. Tomato ketchup.
Tommy K.
Gotta be. Right, gammon's here. Got my nice sexy pineapple.
Yeah, so obviously when you do triple cooked chips, you get rid of layers of the starch. But this way they take a lot longer just cooking directly in oil. And they always look a little bit darker. All right, adding a
Okay.
bit of fine salt to these chips.
And thus we have it. So the potatoes have a little bit more sugar content in than your sort of normal triple cooked chips or fries. Ham, egg, chips, and grilled pineapple.
Literally never has ever
Looks
looked
good.
that good in a pub.
I would eat the shit out of that. This, arguably, I think is going to be my favourite of the day.
Oh, really?
Ham, egg, and chips.
I don't know where
with
the ketchup comes
grilled
in.
pineapple.
Wow. Oh, I say.
Tommy K.
Right, come on then.
The ketchup on the ham and the pineapple, that seems extreme. Ketchup on the eggs and the fries, delicious. But with the ham and the pineapple, really?
Let's have a look at this. Well, good looking egg. Let's have a look. Nice bit of runny egg. Ooh, that's a belching egg. That, look at that.
Let's
Nice
see
bit
it.
of action on the cutting the fat there on the gammon. Oh, ham. That's tasty. On the egg, I'm liking the egg.
Have you ever served ham, egg, and chip?
Yeah, a long time ago. But I did 2 eggs because I was generous. That
Oh.
edges off the scratching.
2 eggs, like that's a whole breakfast.
Oh!
For me,
So, pork scratchings are out. Next up, the
Is that
humble
like-
sausage roll. Twice I say
Oh.
humble. It's actually one of the cornerstone of British cuisine.
Does any other countries do anything like it?
I thought that was like a beef Wellington.
I'm not sure. I think it's pretty specific to us.
First glance, I would say it's synonymous with the British pub. However, I do feel like it's becoming less and less of a pub dish.
Controversial opinion. My favourite sausage roll? Greg's. Greg's actually sell 140 million sausage rolls a year. We've got some shop bought puff pastry. We make
Okay.
a little mix of mustard, general sausage meat, just like nice 10% fat, pipe dip onto the puff pastry. Then we did a little bit of an egg wash. We sealed down one side, and then we put some little fennel seeds and a little bit of flaky salt and an egg wash on the top. All right, so I'm going to bake this in the oven now.
Looks good.
180 degrees for around about 10 to 12 minutes. Right, so HP sauce. Do you know what it stands for?
Hellman Perrins.
Really, really bad guess. It is the Houses of Parliament
No,
sauce.
it's not.
No, it's
Is it?
not.
Yeah.
No
Interesting
way.
recipe. It's in a way says a lot about our old empire. So you've got tamarind in there, which is very, very exotic. You've got molasses. You've got apples in there, raisins. So there's lots of quite mysterious ingredients that you would say are sort of synonymous with the UK. Spices in there.
Isn't like ketchup? Doesn't like ketchup sauce? Ketchup has, I think, it's either anchovies or is it like no? It's I think soy sauce that has anchovies. Like there's like the ingredients of like whatever condiments that you are constantly using. Like the ingredients are wild. It's like oh, I didn't know that this had that.
Made in the Netherlands.
Made in the Netherlands.
Sausage
Okay.
rolls out. Nothing better than a nice hot sausage roll.
oh dear
Yeah, this
me.
looks like what
Sausage
puff,
roll
puff pastry.
served with, by royal appointment, HP sauce.
Stop.
Excellent.
Do you know what the HP stands for?
Houses of Parliament. That's why it's got
No.
Big Ben on it, Jack.
I actually think I think it's growing away from being a pub classic. I think maybe it was at one point, but I feel like with it being now convenience, grab and go, like I don't know if it's placed on a pub menu as
And
strong
now
as
we're
it
all
once
up
was.
against Greg's. It's a
But
classic,
wouldn't
but
it?
it's not ahead of the ham, egg and chips.
We're going for the country
Okay.
classic of shepherd's pie.
Oh.
Not only a pub classic, but it's graced the family dinner table for
Yeah.
many, many years.
Isn't that like a very traditional sort of like British food?
Traditionally, it used to be
Like a
just
meal?
thin slices of lamb, but it's actually minced lamb that we've used now, and that's more what we use generally to make to make shepherd's pie. So we've roasted that off, added in some carrots, onions, and some peas. But yeah, so really nice rich mix.
Yeah, like
and then
a
just
stew.
gets paired with the potatoes.
Whereabouts in the UK did it come from, shepherd's pie? Must be Lancashire, I've got a feeling.
It's
What
from
is
the
this?
north, put it that way. Definitely a northern dish.
So we've got some parsed potatoes. We've got our minced. We've just
Oh.
warmed it through slightly, but we don't need it hot for when we bake it. So it's going to get the mash rolling next.
Importantly though, it's not like, this isn't a Roubichon style mash.
Chunky.
It needs to hold
That was butter. Oh my god, there was like so much butter.
together a lot more. So the more fat you put in there, the more it'll be. To be honest, you're just using the fat and the fat and the milk to let it down a little bit.
I'm like, don't tell me how much butter this has, really. I don't want to know.
Melt that down, and we're going to add our spuds. And that is pretty much most of the stuff we need. So I'll be very interested to see how Paul rates it as a pub classic. Cool, so we made our mash now. So next we're just going to whack it on top of our pie. So shepherd's pie, mash on top, we've got mince underneath. Really simple presentation. Going to roast that in the oven, just lightly brown the potato, and that'll be ready in about 15 to 25 minutes.
I didn't know this because I always thought shepherd's pie had some sort of like dough or like a pastry. I did not know. It was just like mashed potatoes on top.
So just had our shepherd's pie come out the oven. So look in, all this, got the lovely sauce bubbling around the outside.
That looks stupendous, chef.
Looks great, yeah.
That is gonna take some beating.
Yeah, of course. It's still professional cooks. Everything looks great.
Right.
Right then.
A classic shepherd's pie.
Now then.
Lamb mince topped with buttery mashed potato and baked until crispy.
Well, there's not a lot to not like about that
Correct.
description. Oh, there you go. Texture in there.
You got one of these on your menu at the moment?
I do it, yeah. Marvellous.
Wow.
So it takes a hot spot.
There's many restaurants around this town where we are now that do a shepherd's pie, which is very nice, but that's better.
All right.
What on earth is that?
That, my friend, is a beautiful
Is it a
wild
turnip?
haggis.
Been running around the
What is
field, isn't it?
So, haggis, neeps, and tatties. Terrible accent, that. Really
Correct.
bad. Need to work
Yeah.
on that. So, haggis is hearts, livers, lungs, mixed up with oats. Delicious. Baked inside a stomach, just because that
Yeah.
sounds delicious. They serve it with some sort of smashed up potatoes and neeps, also known as swede. Very commonly found in Scottish pubs. Start cooking.
Yeah, I think this is like the Scottish version of a shepherd's pie, probably.
Look at this. What we're actually going to do is get some tin foil, cover the haggis, and then we're going to lightly poach it. Scotland's one of the most beautiful
Oh.
places on earth,
Like an egg.
and they've got some of the best pubs, they've got some of the best whiskey selections. This is our swede that we've cooked. This is our tatties, or potatoes, and swede we just boiled.
I think that's such a like Scottish thing to say, like to call potatoes tatties. Like that's
Added
so
some butter and
Scottish.
seasoning. Interestingly enough, it's actually illegal to eat haggis in the US. They don't
What?
mind chlorinated chicken, but when it comes to eating lung, they're out. And this is our whiskey sauce, which is shallot.
It's because they're like the insides. I don't think like no, the laws do not. The laws are like no, this is forbidden actually.
Some good Highland whiskey, a little bit of stock, a little bit of cream, and a little bit of mustard. So quite simple.
Oh my, what?
Also quite beige. Right, look at this bad boy. Oh, I'm getting a lovely aroma. Oh, it's like doing an umbilical cord. Take off the
Oh my
sheet
God.
casing. Now, it actually
Oh,
smells
you had
delicious. To be
okay. You have to remove
My
this.
little neeps. I'm going to back I got the tatties on the plate.
Like, delicately placed there.
And it doesn't look great.
Let us know if we've done you proud.
Q bagpipes.
Haggis,
I say,
meats
health.
and tatties with a whiskey sauce.
Blimey,
And I
look
like
at
the
that
whiskey
monkey.
sauce.
Is that not a normal portion size?
I'm a big haggis fan.
They're very hard to catch, aren't they?
We've got 2 short legs and 2 long ones.
That thing is massive. I have to say, it doesn't visually doesn't look like the best out of all the dishes, but that haggis, it's enormous. Is that for one person? That looks quite big.
As they walk around on hillsides. But it tastes very, very good.
It's actually probably the worst looking thing we've served today, but I would say one of the best tasting.
I think it's very tasty, but I don't think it edges that shepherd's pie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So the haggis is lost out to the shepherd
But only by a whisper.
by
whiskey's breath.
by a
I would have said the same thing. I am not tasting them, but I would have said the same thing.
By a whisper.
whisker.
Yeah.
Bangers and mash.
Ooh,
This has got
that's
a
so
place in every pub across this green and pleasant land. In the First World War, meat was rationed, So, to be quite honest, cheeky little butchers would put more moisture grains into their sausages to try and make the meat go further. Because of the extra water content, the sausages, interestingly enough, my butcher's back home had a gas leak and exploded. And I can confirm the sausages did go with a bang. What do you think, chef? Your favourite?
Yeah, I think it
Concept of having a butcher, that's crazy.
is a classic. It's one of those ones you don't normally think about. Then when you have it, you're like, oh, it's really nice that. Like I would never order a bangers and mash.
Why?
I really would. Definitely not elegant, but this does exactly what you need it to do.
It's all about the quality of the sausage, I think.
Okay, so
It's
once
very
you've got a nice
classic.
colour on the sausages, whack them onto a tray, and they can finish in the oven. Okay, so we're going to add our onions in, and we're going to get a nice caramelisation and a colour on them. Add in a little knob of butter. Our onions are nicely
Tons
caramelised.
of butter.
Put in a little bit of flour, just so the sauce will have a little bit of thickness and consistency. And then I like
They
to go
look
in
incredible.
with the good stuff, Liam Perrins. So good splash of that. And then go in there with a nice big bit of beef stock, and then we'll finish with some beautiful whole grain mustard. What we want is this really beautiful, silky, caramelized sauce. Not too thick because it's going to glaze all those sausages in the mash. I think this could take it. So simple, but excuse the pun, banging. Look at that. Sausage and mash.
That's good.
One of Britain's most famous classics. On many a menu still today.
Hey,
Here we have
Wow.
bangers and mash.
look at that.
Onion gravy.
Oh, it looks good.
Blimey. The thing with sausage,
Blimey.
everyone knows what a good sausage is. And sausage is so personal to everybody. Everyone's got their favourite butcher's sausage. So Grant, let's have a look. Here we go. Going
I
in.
don't know. You told me.
That juice strong. Good. I'm old fashioned. I used to twist sausages as a kid at 14 in my local butcher's shop where I started. I went out with the butcher's daughter actually. But I used to
Okay, this man has led many lives.
go down on Wednesday and a Saturday to make sausages. Yeah, I used to twist them all by hand.
Is that where you learned how to twist a sausage with the butcher's daughter?
That's too much information.
Stop.
I'm still pulled towards the shepherd's pie.
No!
Oh, really? Really?
Bangers and mash!
Shepherd's pie still takes it.
But that's where I am.
I think we've got something coming up that's
Oh.
going to
This
change
is so
your
funny.
Oh, right. Well, bring it on.
Right, next up, we've got a classic steak and ale pie. So we've just got a little pie mold here. Just going to rub around a little bit of butter just to lightly
What is
grease it
that?
up. Probably one of the most dishes that people most think about when they think of British food, right? So we've
Never heard
got
of
a
this in my
nice
life.
classic sort of all butter pastry here, which we've
Okay.
which we've made and chilled it down, and now we're going to roll it nice
Yeah.
and thin to line our pie dish with. So just the classic, all butter short crust pastry, many different names.
Yeah.
So we're going to line the bottom and the top. So many different variations of pie in this country. You can do a classic sort of, there's like the East End London pie, which is sort of made with mince, which wouldn't really be served in a pub. That's more of a sort of cafe. Yeah, pie and mash
Okay.
shops. That's sort of where all the workers would go. Whereas in a pie, it'd be a bit more, that's sort of like quite a rushed, quite simple pie. Whereas this is sort of like the next level up. So we're going to have pastry on the bottom, pastry on the top.
I always think it's a real cop out when you go to a pub and they just serve a big, like the stew in a dish and then they just put a layer of puff pastry on the top.
Just going to go
No.
around, making sure we leave enough pastry to
Yeah,
line the sides
to cover it, yeah,
of
and
our
to do
pie.
everything.
I'm just going to lift it up and fold it into our pie dish.
Uncle Paul is a pie connoisseur as well, so I think he's going to go quite ruthless on this one.
That's like
it's
so much
Northerners
pastry,
are-
it looks
Northerners and
delicious.
their pie.
I have high hopes. I think this is the winner for me. Royals used to eat lots and lots of, especially the Tudor court used to eat lots and lots of
How old is this dish?
different meat and game pies. It's very much seen as a staple of our heritage.
So it's going to trim off a little bit of the extra pastry. So filling here, we've got our mirepoix, which we sweated down, then our reduction of the Guinness, and we then got our beef that's gone in there and braised down. The mix is reduced nicely. Then we're just going to lay that beef into the pie, into our pastry. Glue where we're going to seal with a little bit of egg wash, just to help the lid stick. Lid's going on, and then we're just going to crimp the sides together, go all the way around, creating a
very
nice
thick.
seal, so we lock in all their juices. And we're going to crimp it over the top. And we go into the oven to bake at 200 degrees for 35 minutes.
I'm confident about this one, and I know
Ah.
this man
Yeah.
loves a steak and
Because this one's similar to shepherd's pie.
Now then,
pie.
that one looks absolutely
Looks
belting.
perfect.
And a bit of extra jus on the side.
Oh, I say.
You sell, these are your biggest sellers, right? So you sell a lot
One
of
of
pies.
them, yeah. Top 3. Now then, I'm going to put a bit of juice on here. Although, no, there's a bit of a rim on this plate. I'm going to put a bit. Oh, hey up. There's. Look at this. Where's the proper plate? Come on.
Do you know? Would you not rate the boards?
I'm a plate man, really. Yeah. Yeah. I've got to think about this.
It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
I think the pastry's done really nicely, and it's nice and thin. It's just edged the shepherd's pie. This was.
Oh!
And my mum would love this. Everywhere I take her out, she has steak pie. Steak and ale pie.
Oh my.
Get that steak and ale pie on there.
It's edged it. The steak and ale pie.
I do like. I'm just gutted about the bangers. I really thought sausage and mash was going to have it, but we've got one more trump up our sleeves.
Probably the
Okay.
most important dish in the UK. I'm sure you know what it is. As a proud public.
It's gonna be
Fish and chips.
curry.
Shit.
I don't know enough about British food.
The last dish we're going to do is arguably the strongest dish we're going to have today. Fish and chips.
Okay, I
Flour,
was
high
right.
carb, salt. Just going to add a little bit of turmeric and mix all of our dry ingredients together before we go in with our beer. Hello.
The extra
You cook
CO2 in
the
lager
beer?
helps the batter rise. The pie and mash shops, the fish and chip shops. This is what
I don't think you can taste a beer, right? Like the alcohol evaporates, but then what? Oh well, it's for science purposes. Okay, it helps like whatever with the yeast and stuff.
fed lots of people during the Industrial Revolution. Traditionally now it's still cooked in beef fat because it just gives an insane flavour.
Got the batter there, so
course.
we've added the beer, a nice sort of batter consistency. Then we're just going to lightly season our fish with a little bit of salt. We're leaving the skin on. I've always ever made fish and chips with the skin on, but apparently you would usually take the skin off when you fry your fish up north.
Northerners
Yeah.
don't like the skin. It's fair enough.
So lightly
I wouldn't-
flour
I
your
wouldn't
fish
like it.
into the batter. I always find it's good to sort of hold the fish by the corner of the skin, give it a really good wicka, 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 wicka. And then we're just going to brush the skin against the side of the bowl so it lightly crisps up a bit more when it's in the fryer. Hold the fish in the above. A little bit of a crispy topping on the top. We call this sort of scrap. So fish is in, probably going to take
What?
around, I reckon, 3 or 4 minutes to cook. I'm going to now remove
Do
it
I need
from
to,
the
like-
fryer. Okay, chips go in. Okay, chips are colouring up nicely. Probably not another
This whole process looked scary and marvelous, but of course they're chefs, so they're like they made it look so easy.
minute or so. Lovely. Chips coming out. Drain them on some paper. So, no fish and chips would be complete
That's
without
so big.
malt vinegar, classic staple. A lot of people either love it or hate it.
What is
and
that?
also tartar sauce. There we have
Tartar
it.
sauce? Yeah, sure.
Chips, tartar sauce.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Candice.
my
British classic.
goodness.
Top. The Battle of the Pies.
The fish looks so big, and I know it was like a huge fillet, but this looks very. I mean, yeah, because it had like the batter. It looks crazy. It looks so big.
Pip it
Looks
to
like
the
a monster.
line. Beer battered cod with chips, tartar sauce,
Oh.
and last but not least,
oh.
Sarson's malt
Oh,
vinegar.
there we go. Let's
I
have
think
a
it's
go at
gonna-
this gentleman.
What are your first
Looks great, but I think like shepherd's pie is gonna win.
impressions? What do you think?
Very large portion, gentlemen.
It's very big.
I wouldn't expect anything less. Oh, chips, they're good.
Got a bit of beef fat in
Nice,
there.
nice seasoning. Obviously done in dripping. Oh, a bit of scraps and scrumps or whatever you call them in the country here and there. Let's have a look. Oh gosh, look at that. This
Oh
is
my God,
fish
so
wild.
crispy.
It was, and then I caught it. It went nuts. Oh, I say, now then, that's a super batter.
That fish looks very flaky and
It
delicious.
is. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to go
Fish and chips.
fish and chips, gets it on a short head.
oh my.
That's it, yeah. But it was so tightly packed. The grouping
can't
was
believe
so.
it.
It's like a triple 20 3 times. But one was a bit closer to the wire than the other one.
I don't even have a favourite because I'm looking at it.
Right,
I
they're
can't
all-
decide which way it would
To
have
be
gone.
fair, they're all belters.
Cheers.
Hey, onwards and upness.
There we have it.
Upwards.
Pod and chips.
Fantastic. Cheers, gentlemen. Until next time.
Oh my god, okay, this was a journey. I think I think it's funny. They all looked incredible. Like I have to say, like, yes, everything like looks incredibly delicious. I do think I'm a little bit confused about the concept though. I think, when I think about like a pub, I'm like, okay, a pub, like I'm gonna go drinking. I think like the ones that are actually, and you feel like, I don't know, more like a snacky situation of like, when you're between like drinks, between cocktails, or I guess in a pub, you wouldn't drink a cocktail, you wouldn't order a cocktail. I think everyone's gonna look at you very weirdly. But then like, where would you go for like a cocktail? I don't know. But it's just like beers, right? So I think like when you're drinking, you're like, oh yeah, sure. Like I want probably like something salty, but just a little something to like fill you up when you're like drinking and talking or dancing or whatever. So I'm thinking more of like, I don't know, like what fits this bill. I'm like, well, the shepherd's pie, because it's like a small sort of like individual portion. It's not just like a huge sort of like, it's not a huge tray of like, I don't know, it's a huge thing of like a lasagna or something. It's not that. So that one, the sausage roll, I think fits the bill. Again, it's like a little snack. I think like the Pullman's lunch absolutely fits the bill. The pork scratchings, absolutely yes. But there are others where I'm like, oh, the Scotch egg as well. But there are others where I feel like that's a meal. Like that's the fish and chips. Although I know that it's a traditional sort of like British food. That's what everyone eats, but that's a traditional food, like the traditional meal. I feel like that's a whole meal, right? Like I would go have this for dinner. I would have this for lunch. Like I would have this for an actual meal. The whole like steak and pie, although, and even again to an extent, I think, well, yeah, I mean, you can make the case for like shepherd's pie as well, because they're like they're individual. The bangers just mash as well, but like where there's like the haggis and the others and the little the tappies, how do you call it, the toddies? I can't remember how Scottish people call potatoes. That one's a meal. Like that's a meal. Like I'm sitting down, I'm eating this. So that's to me a little like I'm not understanding like a little bit of like the concept of this, because again, maybe pubs are like places where you go again to like you're gonna have like dinner over there. I don't know, that sounds weird. It's not that they're not offered, because I think like again, you're like at a pub or a bar, I mean, they are in the menu, but I wouldn't specifically go and like order this, because I would think, no, I'm gonna have something like a Pullman's lunch, and then I'm gonna go for dinner. Or the other way around. It's like I already had dinner. Like I'm having just like a couple snacky sort of like things. Like again, like the pork scratchings or the Pullman's dough or the Scotch egg, just a little something to like fill you up while you're drinking. But I think a lot of these meals, like they looked like an actual meal that I would serve like at home. Like, I don't know, like I'm making myself dinner and I would make one of these things. So it's a little confusing to me. Like, why are they eating at a pub? Shouldn't they be like drinking and just snacking? I don't know. It's kind of a strange concept. But otherwise, like, oh, they all looked so incredibly good. Having said that, like, I think the apple like situation of the main is like an apple. I think it was like an apple chutney. I'm gonna write that the recipe. I'm gonna make it myself at home. Absolutely, because it looks incredible. It looked very good, and they're like, yeah, it's quite easy to make. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try making them. The whole and also like the honey, the ham, the egg and cheese, the ham, egg and chips. They looked, again, the chips, of course, they're fries. They're not actual like a potato chip. That one looked like there's a lot of eggs involved in like traditional British like pubs, which I'm like, it's funny. Yes, they have like the Scotch egg, which I think like it looked good, yeah. But it's funny that a lot of these things have eggs. And the surprising thing to me, again, with this one in specifically, is that it has that sort of like, I'm thinking about breakfast. I'm like, isn't this like a breakfast food? Like the fact that you have a piece of ham, you have an egg, that's like a fried egg. And maybe like the fries, the chips are not that breakfasty, but they with the ham and the cheese, like that's a breakfast. Like I'm sorry to say, you're eating breakfast. I'm not bothered. I feel like, again, you can have like breakfast, whatever, like pancakes for dinner, whatever. But it is a little funny that apparently there are like staples on British, like on traditional British, like pubs, which I'm a little intrigued by this. I'm like, okay. I think I need to go to one of those pubs and like experience this, because I think like again, and how many people are actually eating this? Like they're actually ordering this while they're drinking. Because again, I would think like, don't you just want like the pork scratchings? I would think like when you want, like I'm thinking again when you're asking for just like chips. I'm trying to think of like what other kind of thing like when you're drinking, like some places have like popcorn. Like yes, you're having popcorn. Like again, it's like a little snacky situation. It's not just hummus. Or they probably do not have hummus. Like but something of the sort. So again, it's quite surprising that it's like, no, this is like breakfast and dinner and lunch. It's like, okay, sure, I have all of them. What do you want? And people are actually ordering this. It's not something that's on the menu, but no one really orders. No, people are genuinely eating this, and they're actually having dinner here or lunch, whatever. Like our pubs open like not 24 hours, but are they open like from, I don't know, let's say 12 probably? What's an appropriate time to start drinking? Like 11, 12? Do pubs like open at this hour, or for like lunch, as in like you're having a couple of beers at lunch, which sounds a little, I don't know if that's your lifestyle, okay, but or they're not specifically open that night, right? I don't know. I have questions, maybe because maybe I'm totally like off about this, and maybe yes, they're open just like at night, like I don't know, 5-6 p.m. That's when they actually open. It's like a nightclub. You wouldn't go, like nightclubs are not open technically and usually at like, I don't know, 10 a.m. 11 a.m. You're not gonna find a nightclub open. So I'm interested to know like what are pubs like over there. But yes, I think for me, the Plowman's lunch, I think that was the one that I liked the most, which I know, like having seen everything else, I get why it didn't really win. And he was like, it's good, but it's like, whatever. I don't really care for this. It's like, yeah, I get it. It can vary quite a bit because it's like a smorgasbord. So it really does depend, like they mentioned, like it depends on like where you are, what type of like cheeses they have available, what kind of like cured meats they have. Like, it's a whole thing, like it's just gonna be there. It's not gonna be probably a reliable dish, but like what is it, right? Like maybe I'm asking for haggis, and maybe in some places it's good, and maybe in others like not so much. So it's always a risk, I think, with like dishes in general. But I think I really love the Plowman's lunch. I love the idea of a spread. I love a spread, so maybe that's why. I was missing the little bread. I think the tomatoes were a little like, I'm not sure what we have tomatoes over here, but do you. I think tomatoes are a very British thing. Like tomatoes they have their time and place, but I think British people just like go wild and they put tomatoes on everything. So, that was a little, the one that I'm like, I know all of them, they actually like they looked good. Like I would, yeah, like everything looked good. Like the steak and ale pie, the shepherd's pie, the bean and mash that I just find out it's just potatoes and it's not just an actual dough and a pastry. The sausage roll that looked good as well. The one that I'm a little bit, that doesn't look that great, like even if it just like visually that is not that appealing, is the haggis with the tatties and the other thing. It doesn't look that great. Maybe I have no doubt in my mind. Yes, obviously, like people love this. It probably like tastes incredible, but it doesn't look that great. It doesn't look that great. Like visually, it's just like a bunch of like grayish like type of meat. I don't think that looks that appetizing. I think like he tasted it and was like, no, this is delicious. But also, I think he liked haggis in general, which I think that's an acquired taste. I don't think people are just gonna like randomly ask for haggis and be like, oh my god, this is like the greatest thing I've ever had. Unless you're probably like used to, or you like this sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's a hard sell. I know that, at least again, this is my perspective, but the thing like it's just, and visually it doesn't really look that great, especially compared to the other dishes. It's just like, yeah, and I'm seeing it, I'm not loving it. It's just like a grayish type of like meat ball, very big. Why is it so big? Do not understand the size. And also, like, again, and that's just like visually, once I know what it's in it, I'm like, oh my god, that's another barrier to like get over. But just like visually, I don't know, a hard sell. I do really like yeah, sure, I think that you can say that probably the most traditional type of like pub classics are probably like the fish and chips, which not unsurprisingly, yes, it's a traditional British food for a reason. I would assume people are having this like year long, day long. A lot of people are ordering this. And of course, the shepherd's pie, which I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to see like it because it looked delicious as well. And so yeah, there's like probably those two are probably the staples of like British cuisine and British like pubs, which I'm again like they look very good. I think it's also like really funny about the fish and chips that I saw the portion sizes and some of them like look, they were all sort of like individual, right? Yeah, sure, it's all individual. Like you can probably share this with someone, because I think also the idea, again, I do not know, but I think for me the idea behind this is that I'm gonna order something and you're gonna order something and it's for the table, and we're gonna be like, yeah, we're just like, you grab a bite and the other person grabs a bite, and they're like, it's like for sharing. But maybe I'm off, because after seeing like those individual sizes, I'm like, okay, am I supposed to like, is this for me, or am I have to like do I have to like, no, split it? But the haggis, I'm like, again, should I share my haggis? And the same with the fish and chips. That was what's funny, because like the fish is like very big, so it's like, what do I do with this? Like, this is all me? Yeah, sure, it's a meal. Or should I just like share with the table? And obviously, like, we order a bunch of things. Like, again, it's like the pork scratchings. Like, if I order a pork scratching, it's gonna be like everyone in the table is gonna be eating them, right? So I would you would probably need to order a few of them, depending on how many people there are. Or the plowman's lunch, which is like, again, I think a little bit of like sharing, and like, yeah, someone has this and then they have like this cheese and then you have like this, and it's a bit like that. And also, I think I'm gonna end up by saying like the Scotch egg looked great, yeah, sure. I think like, would you ask for like one Scotch egg? Like, if I go to a British pub, am I gonna have to ask like, can you give me like one Scotch egg, and they'll just like bring one egg to your table? Because that would be weird to me. I think like, don't you need like a portion size of Scotch eggs? Like, I need several, right? Like at least, I don't know, 3 maybe. They're split in half, so I don't know. You have like 2, like four like slices, right? I don't know. Seems weird to me to just like bring one egg to your table. That seems strange, but maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know. But this is a very fun video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.